Lateral ArtSpace from Romania, and we're going to show you their works, and then we're going to have a small talk with one of the participants here from ArtSpace. So take a look around and see the works. We're here with Lucian, who wants to tell us about the ArtSpace. Do you want to tell us something about how you guys got started? How long the ArtSpace has been up and running?
Yeah, so it has it's been going for 3 years now. So after we finished our masters, we decided there are many exhibition spaces in the city we're from. Despite it being a big Romanian city, we didn't have so many exhibition possibilities. So we decided to make one. And there was a right context. It's some friend had a studio in a building called the Paintbrush Factory, which is basically a former paintbrush factory that was rented by artists and gallerists to, be all together and provide some context. And we managed to get space there, so we didn't have I don't know, well-established plan. Yeah, we did this. It's like somehow it's just let's do this.
How many people were you to establish the ArtSpace?
Initially we were 4, but we ended up staying 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So now it's the 3 of us. It's me, Christina, and Dragos.
Okay.
And we all finished different. I finished photography, Dragos finished painting, Christina finished textile and fashion design.
So you mixed your interest in that way in the ArtSpace?
Not necessarily. I mean, it was somehow a natural way. We were all friends, and honestly, it's better this way because we don't have. None of us has the same interests, or so we have more diversity. It's not like, and we always talk, and all the 3 of us decide whatever is shown, and it's not like everyone proposes to others, or it's not someone's decision, this is the direction we have to follow.
So the artists that you guys are exhibiting, are they someone that contacts you, or do you guys find different artists that you like and want to show their works?
I mean, initially this is why we started, so we didn't do it just to exhibit ourselves. No, it's also to exhibit people that we felt should have a place to exhibit, should have a context, and so we don't. Most of the artists, there are artists that we invite, or there are artists that apply to us, or there are artists that are recommended by others. There is no rule to it. Okay? As long as we find something that interests us, or
Would you say that there aren't that many art spaces in the city where you guys
are? I mean, as far as I've seen here, or I don't know, in other countries like Germany or Netherlands, or funding. It's not like I want to complain, but funding in public funding for similar situations, it's pretty scarce. So having something not for profit, it's not easy. So the truth is, there are many. I think probably in all the countries, I don't want to be mistaken, but I think it's underneath 20 or even underneath 15.
wow.
Yeah, so for a country of 20 million people, or yeah, something like, I mean, yeah, something like 20 space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But now you're here at Supermarket. And
Yeah,
is this your first time or did you really like
our second.
your second year? Okay.
Yeah.
And what about the works that you guys have chosen to exhibit this year? Was there like a common theme, or what was the words chosen? What were you guys thinking?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, we didn't. It's not that you know we're a gallery, so you know when you go to a fair, you represent some artists, and you know like there's a strategy. Okay, let's this year it will be this. I'm going in I don't know Sweden, so we choose this artist, or I don't know. So we don't have that. We just make a call. We try to have cohesive theme or cohesive concept, and then we just propose to different people that we collaborate and whoever provides something that interests us, or we think there is something that can connect all the works. We just don't want to put works into a space and that's it.
No.
So, yeah.
Okay. And these are your works that we're sitting
these are
in
mine.
front of? Yeah. And do you want to talk a bit about those? They're really cool.
Yeah, this is mostly like word somehow typography, or and it's, as you can see, it exploits this eye candy idea. This that some they are at first impression they are very pop.
Yeah.
And also, it's exploiting. This is a very popular pop song. I don't know if you know it, from the 90s.
And the material that you've done it on, how is it?
It's paper. It's paper.
Yeah.
It's acrylic on paper. But of course, there are subtle criticisms towards the popular and mass culture, like especially this with Dubai. Yeah, but it's also about the city, Dubai, and what it represents, like I don't know, extreme archetype of consumption.
Yeah, really consumption at its worst.
Yeah, I haven't been there, but what I've read, it's very biased. Very, some people praise it for what it is, and others, truly despise. I've heard like shady labor practices, but it's not something I read. But you cannot deny the fact that it's a megalomaniac. I would really love to go there and just to experience it.
Yeah.
I think it's fascinating.
It's something that you haven't seen before, so it's not something that you see on the place.
No, I don't think so. No, I think it's quite unique.
Yeah.
Like.
So is that a comment as well, that you have this non-profit art space as well? So I mean that.
Not necessarily. No. I mean, it's not for profit because somehow it's very hard. We didn't want initially, if you want. We weren't, it wasn't thought as a commercial enterprise. We didn't start as, okay, let's make money selling art, or I don't know. But in the end, art it is, or it can be a commodity, and behaves like that. I mean, there is an art market. Even though some, don't like the idea, or it's in the end, it's something you purchase, and it behaves like a product. So it's not something you can avoid. I mean, even if you work as an artist, I don't think like most artists start. I don't think they think
and benefit into that.
But not necessarily. But you don't think exactly. Oh yes, I'll be selling this. But you have to live somehow. You have to produce your work, buy material. So. And that money can come from selling your art. I mean, art used to be commissioned, always commissioned.
So how are you guys on it? Now you talk about that there weren't that many people. So how do you guys survive? How does you fund?
Thankfully for that, as I was saying, the Paintbrush Factory, the context we did receive some funding by some artists that made it commercially, were pretty generous enough to donate sometimes some funds to us, and also the Paintbrush Factory applied to some grants, and we received, as a part of as an organization being part of it, we received some grants for some money for our program. But you know, it's not like I can complain, but you know, this funding, this grant, I mean, yeah, it's so bureaucratic, so you always have to know what you're spending. You cannot spend on this, you cannot spend on that. It's very,
it has to be really structured what you're using.
Yeah, you're limited to what you can do, what you can.
Yeah.
And you always have to give explanation. Why I need this, why I need to do this, why I need to go there. While on the other side, when you're in a private, if you manage to get it, you can spend it as you wish. So I think, you know, I don't want to go either way, but I think like the balance between, I mean, each side has different
prospects or problems that you have to consider.
Yeah, but you know, as I said, maybe here in the north of Europe or here or in Western Europe, you know, art finding or money for art or for culture is something really established. But for example, in Romania, the funds for even for our National Cultural Institute, they diminished, they cut funds. So you know, it's not something that's a priority on politicians' agenda in my country. So it can be frustrating.
Yeah.
But you know, things go on. If you don't manage to get it from there, you get it from somewhere else.
Do you see maybe like a change in the art scene in Romania because of this? You know, the funding is getting cut all the way. Can you see
no, because honestly, I don't think people really, when they start something, they don't take that into consideration. That you know, we will only support ourselves through fundings or to whatever grants we receive. So I doubt it that. Maybe this is why there are so few spaces. That somehow you just have to survive or to make it. So I doubt that people, when they open something or initiative, they think of we just. I doubt that someone starts only just thinking public funding. Maybe here it's different, but I.
Another place we're from anyway. So how have you thought about supermarkets so far? Have you had some good experience here the last few days? Have you met some people? Is it good to be here and be in conversations and like interact with different art spaces?
This is why we came.
Yeah.
To meet other organizations, we have collaborations, to see how the art scene is here. It's always good to get out of the country or to, if you don't want to stay provincial or to. We also will be going at art fair in London, doing freeze called, I'm not sure if I pronounce it right, it's called Sluis, and it's like the 4th edition, and it's near Tate on the South Bank.
Okay. So when is that?
During freeze.
Okay.
I mean, all over the world there are smaller art fairs exploiting or in the shadow of the, you know, in Art Basel probably there are like 9 or 10 art fairs or in other, or during FIAC or I think so. It's a good context.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much. It's really interesting. So it was good that we got the conversation. Should we just take your card here so that we can film here Lateral ArtSpace? This is their information. Yeah.